The Elder Scrolls Blades is a free-to-play mobile game made by Bethesda. It was made in 2020, and it was like to give people on the phone a Bethesda-like experience while being a mobile game that has village building and some dungeon crawling, as well as some lighthearted dialogue through the NPCs at their settlements. You encounter goblins, rats, and gear in the game, and it's kind of a fun little spin-off game if you want something on the go. And they even added it onto the Switch. It's not being updated much, but what's there is there. Now we have the Elder Scrolls Travels games, that being Dawnstar, Stormhold, and the last one made, Shadowkey. The Shadowkey was the one that was more 3D than the other ones. Now these games have not aged well. If you get your hands on one, good luck, as they can be pretty pricey and almost a collector's item. We have Battlespire, 1997. And it was a spin-off game for the Elder Scrolls. It lacked a lot of features from the past game, which being Daggerfall. It tried to add many movement tech to the game, and while being, I guess you could call it innovative, it didn't really work out in the end. It made it very clunky, the dialogue was a little cringy, but it had its charm, and it was outright kind of silly and funny at times. And the animations in the game were improved. I mean, the enemies are still sprites, but your weapons were 3D. You can kind of see the game and the industry go into a more 3D environment, as we see here with the Atriarch. And exploration is there, but it's a lot more dungeon focused and less open world, if not any at all. But there are some hub areas you can explore. Alright, now the Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard, 1999. This is the first game led by Todd Howard, the man who needs no introduction. This game takes place in Stros M'Kai, a Redguard settlement, and is a more of an action adventure. It's less role-playing. There's dialogue and there's equipment you can get, and there's more. There's a story to it. But the game lacks and stripped all of what Daggerfall had in favor of a more action, combat focus for the series. And you can see it in its DNA. You can tell that from Arena and Daggerfall, they were hardcore RPGs. Battlespire is the hardcore platformer action, and Redguard is the full-on action and completely 3D game. Morrowind is typically found as the first Bethesda game that's completely 3D, but actually that title goes to Redguard. Daggerfall was 3D, but it had sprite enemies and people, and Arena was 2.5D, where the whole world was tricking you thinking it was 3D. One is going to be Elder Scrolls Legends in 2017. It is a card game with many factions that we know, many characters that we know, and it can be pretty fun at times. The Elder Scrolls Online, made in 2014 and is still being updated to this day. I actually do plan to play this game. Out of this entire list that I have going on right now of this video, this is going to be the game I will be playing at the very end after I beat Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls 5. That is assuming that the Elder Scrolls 6 would come out, because as this video is made, it is 2024 right now. But this game has many things to offer: exploration, combat, PvP, and even housing. And that will conclude my list. Alright, thanks guys. This is going to be the new beginning for Bethesda. The game that saved them. The game that their entire company relied on. Because these spin-off games that they tried just didn't work out. But there's one game that redeemed them and brought them back on top. And introduced a whole new generation of gamers to the world of Tamriel. I think we know what it is.